Can you hear me? Hi, this is
Okay.
good.
Yep, we can hear you.
All
So my
right.
name is my name is Michael Coldesina, and I am the manager of travel industry accounts with Sports Travel and Tours. And with me is John Werner, who is one of our long-standing hosts from long before I started working for the company. And he's going to be the host for the Central Ballparks experiences and the two different splinters that make up that particular trip. So thanks for joining us this evening. We're going to basically just go through the itinerary day by day. As I mentioned earlier, if you joined a few minutes ago, please feel free to ask a question when we get to it, but we'll also stay on afterwards and answer as many questions as you have. But let me share the itinerary so everyone can see it. Okay, there we go. Now, I know some of you may be arriving early, but the trip itself starts on Saturday, July 5th in Chicago. And you should have it's the fact that you're seeing this webinar and have registered for it means that you have at least received your final itinerary via email. And if you haven't already, you should also be receiving in the mail a Sports Travel and Tours pouch. And if you haven't, just let me know at the end of the presentation and I'll make a notation and just double check and make sure that those did all ship out. But anyway, so you'll be arriving on or before July 5th for those that are doing the full Central Ballparks experience. You're going to meet John in the lobby of the Chicago Marriott Downtown Magnificent Mile at 5:30. He'll have some things to give out to you at that point. And then at 6:15, you're going to head over to Harry Caray's seventh inning stretch, which is an iconic Chicago sports bar. If you don't know who Harry Caray is, he was the longtime announcer for the Chicago Cubs and is famous for leading the seventh inning take me out to the ball game rendition. And also we'll give you complimentary admission to the adjacent Chicago Sports Museum. So you have a little bit of time to check that out as well. The reception is going to be a great opportunity where you're going to be able to get to know John, get to know the other travelers, and the rest of the evening will be at leisure. Day two, and hopefully you all noticed the change that we had here because of the game time change. We have added some features to day two. So we're including a stadium tour at Wrigley Field and also some leisure time at Navy Pier in Chicago on Lake Michigan. And then we'll depart the hotel for Wrigley at about 3 p.m. and the game time is 5:10 p.m. Moving on to day three, still in Chicago, breakfast at the hotel again. And you've got leisure time until it's time to head out for Guaranteed Rate Field. And let me tell you how hard it is for me to remember Guaranteed Rate Field. I just naturally want to say Comiskey Park, and it's kind of proud of myself
for field now.
Yeah. Oh, they've changed it again?
Yeah, they took out the guaranteed.
Oh, so it's just Rate Field.
Yeah.
Well, I guess after the White Sox played last year, they're not guaranteeing anything at this point, so that makes sense. So after the game, back to the hotel, and then on Tuesday, July 8th, we will depart for Milwaukee. And oops, sorry, just lost it. On the way out of town, though, or I guess the way into town, we're going to be looking at the Bobblehead Museum. This is actually a really cool little museum with over 10,000 different bobbleheads from all aspects of entertainment, sports, just notable people. It's really a fascinating museum. It's not a large museum, but it is really a cool place to visit. In the afternoon afterwards, we're heading off to American Family Field, and game time is 6:40 for the Dodgers and the Milwaukee Brewers. Then day five, it's off to Minneapolis. The remainder of the late afternoon and leisure after we check into the Element Minneapolis downtown will be, you'll be able to spend doing whatever you'd like. Minneapolis is a great town to explore, and one of the things that's it's noted for is its series of skyways, covered skyways that connect different buildings. It's not as much of a issue in the summer, but in the winter, it certainly is great to know that you can walk throughout downtown Minneapolis without ever having to come out into the cold. So if it happens to be brutally hot or even raining, you'll still be able to get around without much issue of getting wet. Day 6, still in Minneapolis. Have a leisurely walk to Target Field, time for the 12:10 p.m. game. And then the rest of the evening will be at leisure in Minneapolis for Friday's departure for Kansas City. Once we arrive into Kansas City, we'll check into the hotel and then depart for Kauffman Stadium. We'll see the Mets take on the Royals in a rematch from the 2018 or 19 World Series? I can't remember that far back.
2015.
2015. Geez, it's longer than I thought it was. So that should be a good matchup. And as a Phillies fan, I hope you guys are all rooting for the Mets to lose that game because we need all the help that we can get. All right, then Saturday, day 8, off to St. Louis. But before heading east to St. Louis, we're going to check out the Negro Leagues Museum, and then we'll not too far drive onto the other side of the state in time to take the tram to the top of the Gateway Arch, and then the remaining time is at leisure. And then day 9, we have a day game between the Braves and the St. Louis Cardinals. And then after the game, we'll be heading to St. Louis International Airport or Lambert Field for flights out. Flights should have been scheduled for 7 p.m. or later. And any of you that are staying on, there will be transportation back to the hotel. So that is your itinerary. And all of the game tickets and the Uber credits should have been mailed out. So hopefully everyone has received those at this point. If anyone has any issues with the tickets, please let us know. At the top of the itinerary, you have the cell phone for John. We ask that you just use that once the trip has actually started. If it's anything before July 5th, please call us at our toll-free number, and anyone in the office should be able to help with any issues. You'll probably get routed to Anthony or myself if it's any issues with the mobile tickets or the Uber vouchers. Right. And so please, anyone have any questions on anything related to the itinerary, any questions about other aspects of the trip, or just anything that has to do with sports travel and tours?
Michael, can I add one thing, please?
Yes.
There are some travelers that are not joining the program until we get to Minneapolis. Please be aware, in Minneapolis, there is a time, and I have to go get it out of my paperwork, that I will have a check-in for those people that join us in Minneapolis. So if you're confused about the Chicago, Milwaukee legs, that's because you may be joining us in Minneapolis. I don't want you to be confused by the first couple days, but we'll have a check-in in Minneapolis too, and you should have gotten that in your paperwork. Thank you, Michael.
Okay. John, are you still getting lightning where you are?
Yeah. Yes. It's
interesting. I can see that.
Yeah, I have a window right behind me. You might see the lightning through my window.
Yes, I did. Okay. And hey, John, and I know everyone got your bio sheet, but I think I can't remember exactly what it says, but your entry into sports travel and tours tour hosting is kind of unique. We have a few that have kind of taken this route, but maybe give them a quick overview of how you became a tour host with sports travel and tours. John, I think you're muted. John, I think you're muted.
Sorry, I turned it off after I was done talking. Anyway, It was one of my better baseball decisions. I started by taking a trip as a traveler, as you are going to do with me in Chicago next week. And I did a West Coast trip. And during that trip, I was talking to the tour hosts, a couple different ones, because there were a couple legs to the trip. And they said they were looking for school teachers that have the summer off. That's me. And they're looking for people that have baseball background. That's me. And I got talking to them, and they said, well, contact the president, Jay Smith. And I got home on a Monday, I believe it was. And I think I called Jay Smith on Tuesday and said, I need to do this. That was the year 2000. And 2001, I started doing tours with sports travel. And now we're 26 or 25 years into this. And it's the best thing to do.
And it works out great because, like I said, John and I are both based kind of in the Philadelphia area. And so every year for induction weekend, I've got someone to keep me company on a 6-hour drive back from the Cooperstown, Albany area. All right. Well, if nobody else has any questions,
I just
I'd like
had one, please.
Oh, please, sure.
I was told that I've done this. This isn't my first trip, but I was told to leave information about a contact number. Should I just call the office about that and give them that information?
Yeah, you can call that, or if you've been corresponding via email with someone in the office, you can certainly do that too.
Okay, thank you.
Oh,
Yes.
I have a question. Charlie and I are just on the part of the trip that starts in Minneapolis.
Okay.
And we're actually coming in on Tuesday, July 8th, a day early.
Mhm.
And I'm wondering if there is, if we're going to get anything that when we show up at the hotel, I don't know if we're the only ones that are coming early on the 8th. If we get some kind of a confirmation to show the hotel that we do have reservations that day, even though the rest of the group arrives the next day.
Gotcha. So the hotel has a master list of all of the people that are coming, whether it be on the full trip or those that are just starting their trip in Minneapolis. So nope, you just need to go to the front desk, check in, and they'll have all the details for you there.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other questions?
This is Dick, if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, listen, mine was the same question as Carol had. Laura and I are pulling into Chicago on a day early on the 4th. So now I've got kind of my answer answered. So we'll be all set when we show up there. I'll just let them know we're with the tour.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks.
and John will be there a day early as well. We always send
perfect.
the tour hosts in a day early before the trip starts.
All right, we'll look for another bald head just like mine.
There it is.
All right.
Keep in mind, check-in times at hotels are often around 3 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So
Yeah.
if you get there early, you may not get your room immediately, but there will be a room for you.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
Christine, you have a question?
Yeah, I'm starting in Milwaukee, so should I just meet the group at the hotel?
Correct.
Okay.
If you look at the itinerary, it gave an approximate time that we'll get to. Christine, are you going to the Bobblehead Museum with us?
I probably won't make it because my flight gets in around 2 o'clock.
Yeah, that might be pushing it just to get there.
So I was just going to go to the hotel and.
Yeah, get to the hotel, and when I get to the hotel, I'll be looking to see if you've checked in yet.
Okay.
And I do have your cell phone number, so I'll be able to make contact. And you can also make contact with me, so we know exactly where we stand.
Perfect.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions?
Oh, one more. Sorry. Do we
Go ahead,
drive?
please.
Do we drive between all the stadiums, or
Yes.
are there any flights? It's all
There's no flights on this particular program.
Okay. How long does it take to get from Minneapolis to Kansas City?
It's about with a stop. Want to say it's going to be about 5 hours.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah, it's maybe
Oh.
5.25, 5.5, but that's approximate.
Okay.
I did this same tour with another great group of travelers 2 years ago. Not the same beginning and end points. I did the trip. We started in Minneapolis and we did each of the same stadiums, ending in Kansas City. So yes, I've sat through the bus trips and we just make the time go by. And I really don't sing, so don't expect that.
But we also do try to send some entertainment that can be played on the bus to keep people interested. And but you can always take a cat nap. I always like watching the scenery go by. I can't. It's hard for me to sleep on any type of conveyance because I'm too interested in what's going on. All right. Well, thank you again for joining us. And as I said, we did record this. We will be sending out the link if you need to rewatch it, or if only one of two people that are traveling were able to be with us tonight. You'll be able to watch the replay at leisure. But on behalf of myself and John Werner and everyone at Sports Travel and Tours, thank you for joining us and have a great evening.
Hey, thanks. And thanks for adding that Wrigley
Thank you.
tour.
Oh,
See you,
hey,
everybody,
no
in 2
problem.
weeks.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys. I'll
you
see you
soon.
next week.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.